So I've been wanting to film this video for a while, but I was a bit worried about uploading it because I was worried how some stay might react to this. It's nothing bad, but I'm definitely going to say some things, and I know like a lot of stay can be, well, not a lot, just some. Some stay can get really sensitive and defensive when you say, even if it's not negative, but you maybe say something that isn't 100% positive. And I'm not even saying anything negative, it's just, I wanted to talk about my journey from like the last 2 months. I've just been following Stray Kids for the last 2 months, and I just thought my, opinions that might have changed from the beginning. Well, they have changed, and I wanted to kind of discuss like who my bias is compared to back then, if it's the same, has things changed, just my journey basically so far. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. Obviously I went from not knowing who they were to now reacting almost every single day, uploading videos, uploading updates, uploading edits of them, so I just thought it'd be fun to talk about that. But I just hope that you guys listen to the end and not judge and start writing negative comments. Obviously, the majority of stay are amazing and so friendly and so full of knowledge and love helping you when you get things wrong. And yeah, if you say something not right, they'll help you. But sometimes some stay I've seen just in comments sometimes can get like very defensive. So all I'm saying is hear me out. So anyway, when I found out about Stay, let's go all the way to the beginning. Not Stay, Stray Kids was August 9th, because I think that's the first day I uploaded my first video onto this page. And that video was about, so basically I was on TikTok and I was scrolling and I came across a video that said that some K-pop stars, idols were not from South Korea, that some were from Australia and around the world. I was like, oh wow, that's so interesting. That just caught my attention because as someone who didn't know anything about K-pop, I was like, I thought they were just all from South Korea, like born there, raised there, that's how it was. So then when I was looking it up, Stray Kids came up and it was like one of the biggest K-pop groups in the world, worldwide fame. Two of them were from Australia. And I was like, what? That's amazing. Obviously that was Bang and Felix. So then I started, doing a deep dive, looking into them. Not only were they from Australia, but they were from Sydney, which is where I'm from. So I was like, this is crazy. And then it even got deeper. Not only were they from Sydney, but they were, Bang was from an area called Greenacre, which is the suburb over from where I grew up. And Felix was from, I forgot where Felix was from now, but his suburb was maybe like a 20-minute drive from where I was, like where I grew up. So that just like blew my mind. And I was just like, I don't have anyone to talk to about this because no one I know listens to K-pop, let alone Stray Kids. So I was like, I don't know, I just had all these feelings. I was like, I want to make a video. So that's when I filmed my YouTube video. I uploaded it thinking nothing. I just wanted to talk to someone about it. I was like, who knows, maybe one Stray Kids fan will see it and react. Next thing I know, I think it got like 4,000 views, maybe I can't remember exactly. We can go have a look later. But yeah, and all these, they were writing all these nice things, and I was talking about how like, I started looking more into K-pop, and I was like really surprised by all the rules. Like I was doing a deep dive into K-pop and like how, there's the K-pop groups go through all this training for years, and and every group has like a leader and then the a youngest member, and there's all this like respect involved. And then if the groups debut, and then if they debut and it doesn't go well, they can disband. And then they sometimes go into these like shows where they can maybe get into a new group. Like it was just all fascinating. So I was fascinated by it all, and that's why I created that first video. I didn't even think I was going to go further into YouTube after that. I just thought maybe some people would write and it'd be interesting, and that would be that. But then Stay were just like, so welcoming. They're like, welcome to you. Once you start listening to Stray Kids, you never go back. You're welcome to, the rest of your life and this kind of thing. Like it was really, they were really like, you should start reacting to songs and you should do this. And I was like, oh wow, this is so nice and fun. And I'm like, you know what? Let me start listening to some song. And then that's when I started making like reaction videos to the music videos and stuff. And I was just like instantly like, oh my god, this is amazing. They're like, this is so fun. The songs are so great. They all can sing. Like, yeah, and the music videos, like I've always really been big on music videos, but like in the Western world, like music videos used to be really big, like in the early 2000s, early 2010s, but lately they've been a bit boring. They're not as fun as they used to be. They don't put as much effort. Whereas Stray Kids, and I think K-pop in general, they put a lot of effort into their music videos. They're really fun and exciting to watch. So I was just fascinated. I was like, this is amazing. And of course, the songs that I was listening to were just so fun. And yeah, I was starting to get a good reaction. People kept saying, you should react to this, you should react to this song. And then someone, actually, before we go any further, I guess this is the part where I feel like people might get a little upset with me, but if you hear me out, you'll understand that like things have changed and so forth. So anyway, I then I started hearing about like people like being like, who's your bias and all this. And so I made a video where I went through each member and I chose a bias. But I'll be honest with you, I just didn't know much. There's 8 members. It's overwhelming. I didn't know much. So I ended up selecting by the end of it, Bang Chan was as my bias, and my bias wrecker being Changbin. Now that's all fine, right? But what I guess at the beginning, there's 8 whole members, right? That's a lot of members. I have to be really honest with you. I quickly noticed Bang Chan and Felix because they were Australian, and obviously Bang Chan was an amazing leader, and there was a lot to like about him. So, and I think because he's the oldest and I'm older, so I just feel like I have more of a connection to him in that sense. So I noticed them. I quickly noticed I.N because of his beautiful voice, and he just stood out. Changbin also, he became my bias wrecker because I liked his like masculine energy and the way he would rap at the beginning of each song, because he'd always be the first rapper. He just was so powerful and strong. So he really caught my attention. And then Hyunjin, for some reason, just also caught my attention. I think because he's very pretty. But I can't lie, this is where I feel like people might get upset. I didn't pay much attention at the beginning to Han, Lino, and Seungmin. And look, there's a lot of members. It was just, I wasn't paying enough attention to them, and I hope people don't get upset with me with that. But I'm sure when you all started your journey, right, it's difficult to be like, there's 8 members. I was trying to learn their names, like Seungmin's name. I tried to avoid saying it because I was so nervous I was going to say it wrong. Even Hyunjin, I would sometimes try not to say it. If you watch a lot of my first videos, I was apologizing every time I tried to say their names. So at the beginning, I mostly noticed Bang Chan and Changbin, and then obviously Felix because he was Australian. But yeah, like Lino and Seungmin and Han just I didn't notice them as much. And I hope people don't get angry about that. I know some people get upset and defensive, like, why do you notice them? They're amazing, they're special. They are, they're great. But it was just the early days, right? We're talking about the first few weeks. Like, and there's 8 members. I'm used to like music that comes from America and stuff where like the bands would have max 5 people in them, usually 3, 2, like, not 2, but like you have 3 or 4, maybe 5 max. 8 whole people is a lot, to remember the names, to get to know them all, at that early stage. So I hope you guys don't get upset with me, and please listen to the rest of this video before you start getting angry with me. I know some people get very sensitive when you say stuff like that. So just hear me out. So anyway, then people started mentioning that I should react to the 2025 guide. And that ended up being so helpful because it had so much knowledge, and I felt like I started to learn more about all the other members, because the 2025 guide went through all the members individually and them as a group, and that ended up being like a 4-part series, and you guys really enjoyed, I think, so I just came across very authentic, because that's what I try to be really authentic in all my videos, have real reactions, react for the first time. I don't plan any of it. I'm also not over the top screaming, shouting, doing backflips, and I think people really enjoyed that. And I paused, I read everything, I had my opinion. I tried to just make it good. I just didn't just sit there and let it play. Like, there's no point, that's not a reaction. But anyway, from that, I feel like I started to learn more. Like, especially, I learned, like, how Han was the ace and, like, just was so good at rapping and singing and dancing and, just all these things, and learn more about Seungmin and, and also, like, starting to listen to a lot more music. I started to realize how amazing, Seungmin can sing, and Lino, he's such a good dancer and also a good singer, and just, they're all, like, really good looking, of course, and, they all started saying, that really helped me start to learn more about them, for sure. Like, I felt like, I started to understand them all a lot more. But I'd say at this point, I was starting to understand them all, but I still felt like Bang Chan was my bias and Changbin was my bias wrecker. Nothing changed as much as that went. But I was starting to have more knowledge about all the members. I was starting to feel more confident with their names, and at least I started to have a really good understanding of them. Then I think, I reacted to more music videos, and then I did the solos. And I think that's where, things started to change a bit, where I really started to be like, oh wow, noticing more like of Seungmin, noticing more of Lino, noticing more of Han. I reacted to I did like an 8 days of solo songs where I reacted to a solo song of each member, and that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Now, where I would say things really, really, really changed was when I started reacting to more personality videos outside of music videos, where I started to, react to funny videos. I started to react to like serious videos, cute videos. And then of course, I started doing like individual videos, them speaking English. Oh my God, like the video I did of Lino, that's probably one of my favorite videos when I reacted to like individual, just Lino by himself. My jaw was hurting. I was laughing so much, and I I just couldn't believe how much personality he had, and I just hadn't noticed, much. I, realized how amazing and talented he was, but I didn't realize how funny and silly and his dry humor and his dark humor. That video just almost meant like he became like he just moved up the ranks with me like so high. And then of course, I started doing the duos, and I realized how amazing Han and funny he is. And I made an individual video of Seungmin as well, and oh my god, so funny. The way he was so relatable to me because he just came across as like an extroverted introvert. Like he could be really funny and silly, but then he sometimes just want to be left alone. And I just ended up like loving him. It was just so funny, and I want to see even more of him. Like just hilarious. And of course Han, just oh my god, like when I reacted to Ming Sung, oh, I just fell in love with Han as well. Just the sense of humor on that guy. I want a friend like that. Just absolutely fell in love with all three of them. And of course, learning more about Felix and Bang Chan and I.N and Hyunjin and Changbin, through the videos I've been doing. And I say Changbin because so far I actually haven't done a video of Changbin until now. I actually created a video which was meant to go up today of Changbin and Seungmin's friendship. And oh my god, like absolutely loved it, by the way. But what happened is I uploaded it, but because I reacted to TikTok videos, there was a lot of songs on there that made the video get blocked worldwide. So it's uploaded, but I'm trying to remove the copyright that makes it worldwide blocked so that I can upload it. But I think it's going to take a while because there's 14 claims on there. Like I don't mind, like when you react to music from Stray Kids, JYP puts a copyright claim on it, but it doesn't block it, so it's fine. You could still upload it, but these are actual blocks. So I have to like remove those blocks, then it'll be fine. So that will probably go up tomorrow. But anyway, all I'm saying is these videos that I've been doing over the last, since I started reacting to more like personality stuff have changed everything for me. Like I have fallen in love with all of them. They're all so funny, so talented, so cute. Their personalities, the way they intertwine with each other, their relationships, like it has just been so fun and I'm enjoying it. Like I'm making videos every day, and especially with the duos, I've been making like almost hour-long content. Some of them have been an hour. It's been so fun. I'm sure you guys can see that I'm enjoying it as well. Like I work full-time Monday to Friday, and I'm making these videos right after work, then editing them, then uploading them. This is every single day. Even on weekends, I'm making videos. I would never do this if I wasn't enjoying it, so I'm absolutely loving it. Now, where things have really changed, but going back to the whole like bias situation, right? So when I first started, obviously I made that video and I chose Bang Chan as my bias and Changbin as my bias wrecker, and like I said, and I don't want him to get upset, I wasn't realizing much of Han, Lino, and Seungmin at the beginning, but now 2 months and a bit later, I have to say that I like them all equally. Like I'm sorry, I cannot choose anymore. I seriously think they are all so unique, so special, so talented, so funny, so caring. Like how can you choose? It's so hard to choose a bias. I do not think I have a bias anymore. So this is why I said, hear me out, don't get annoyed at me, because that was the early days. I just didn't, there was 8 members. It was overwhelming trying to learn their names, trying to learn about them. It really, really has helped doing the, learning about their personalities with these like latest videos. And I'm still new. I mean, they have been around for like, what, 8 years? I've only known about them for 2 months. I still have so much to learn. I can still make mistakes. I can still say wrong things. I still have so much to learn about the individual personalities, the duo personalities, even the trio personalities. There's 3 Racha, there's Dance Racha, there's Rap Racha, there's Han, Felix, and Hyunjin. Like they did a live that seemed really fun. Like there are so many videos that like I still want to react to. I still want to react to a lot of funny videos, more for like just Stray Kids flirting videos in general. Maybe more like I'd love to even react to like more serious stuff. Like maybe that's not as fun, but if I'm going to understand their personalities, I feel like I need to react to that kind of stuff. That to me makes sense. Just learning more about them, who they are as people. They're not just funny people. They've got other sides to them, right? Like Han and Hyunjin's backstory. I didn't do much of that in my duo video of them, but I'd love to see more of that. The backstory. Because they did have issues at the beginning. That's all part of their personalities, and that's what I think I find really interesting. And I want to do, I want to react to more funny stuff, more serious stuff, more cute stuff. I really want to do videos of each individual outside of Bang Chan and Felix, like when they're speaking English. Obviously, Bang Chan and Felix, it's their first language, but I want to react to videos like that because every time they speak English, it's so cute and makes me laugh. yeah, so a lot more content to come. This is my journey so far. Maybe in 2 months, 3 months, I'll make another one of these where things have changed again. But yeah, where I was yeah, Bang Chan being my bias record being Changbin, but now that has completely changed where I just like them all equally. I still have so much love for Bang Chan. I think he's such an amazing leader, such an amazing person. I obviously have that connection because I feel like he's the eldest. He's almost 30. He's 28. So I feel a bit more of a connection to him in that sense, sure. And obviously he's Australian, Felix Australian, but I just feel so much love for all of them. Like Lena grew on me so much, Seungmin grew on me so much, Han grew on me so much, Changbin, still absolutely loving him. I.N's amazing. I need to do more. Like I want to do an individual video on him, on Hyunjin, on Felix, Bang Chan. I have so much content coming up because yeah, I'm just loving this. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you don't get upset with, at the beginning stage of me saying what I said, but I wanted to be honest. Like this is, it's all about being authentic when you make videos like this. So I just wanted to be real. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. Absolutely love them all. They're all fabulous. They're all great at what they do. They're all funny. All that stuff, all that good stuff. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and obviously I'll see you in my next one.